At this exact moment, in a place where the sun is no longer a warm star, but just a cold point of light, an old machine is still trying not to die. Voyager 1 is out there, moving through the dark at interstellar music distances, carrying less memory than a modern phone icon and running on the fading heartbeat of plutonium. It should have gone silent long ago. It should have become just another dead artifact of 1970s music engineering. But it didn't. And now, after decades of music, drifting farther than anything humanity has ever built, Voyager 1 is detecting something deeply unsettling. Signs that the space beyond our solar system may not be as empty, as smooth, or as well-behaved as we thought. Something is out there, and the farther Voyager goes, the less the old map, music, seems to make sense. In 1990, NASA made a decision that music sounds almost tragic now. The engineers sent Voyager 1 a command to permanently shut down its cameras. The spacecraft was too far music away, too weak, and too power-starved to keep wasting energy on photography. But before those eyes were closed forever, Voyager was ordered to do one last thing: turn around and look back. That was not a small request. By then, the spacecraft was old, distant, and mechanically vulnerable. Turning its scanning platform, music, carried real risk. In deep space, temperatures swing between extremes so brutal that lubricants stiffen, components shrink, and a badly timed movement can become fatal. Forcing Voyager to rotate and stare back music toward the inner solar system was not simply poetic. It was dangerous. And what it captured, music, became one of the most haunting images in human history. Earth, a tiny suspended music point inside a beam of scattered sunlight, a pale blue dot. But hidden inside that farewell was music, something stranger than the symbolism people usually talk about, because the image was not optically clean. It was full of glare streaks, music artifacts, blooming, and distortion. For years, much of that was treated as noise. But the deeper those errors were studied, the more some scientists began wondering whether that noise was telling us something about the space around Voyager itself. To understand why Voyager's detections, music, feel so eerie, you have to remember what this spacecraft actually is. It is not a modern autonomous AI-driven observatory. It is a machine from another era. Its total music memory is microscopic by today's standards. Its logic runs through ancient code. Its systems are built on hardware so old that keeping it alive now depends on engineers who still know how to think like people did half a century ago. That matters because every signal Voyager sends back feels almost miraculous. Commands take more than 22 hours to reach it. Replies take another 22 hours to come back. One question asked from Earth requires nearly 2 days for a full round trip. And yet, this machine still responds, still transmits, and still reports from a place where no human being will go for a very, very long time. In recent years, that communication has become stranger. Corrupted memory, music mixed telemetry, fragments of old logic tangled with new data, and signs of a machine aging under radiation, cold, and unimaginable distance. But inside that struggle, Voyager has also kept returning something more unsettling, evidence that the medium around it is not behaving like empty nothingness. The farther it goes, the more the music vacuum starts looking structured, active, and resistant. For a long time, scientists imagined the outer boundary of the solar system as a smooth transition. The solar wind would weaken. Music, interstellar space, would slowly take over. The change would be broad, diffuse, and hard music to define. But when Voyager 1 reached the heliopause, the true edge of the sun's bubble, that expectation shattered. Instead of a gentle fade, the spacecraft encountered something much sharper. The density of charged particles changed dramatically. Cosmic ray levels shifted. Plasma conditions, music, intensified. It was as if the solar system ended not in a mist, but against a pressure boundary, a membrane, a compressed frontier where our star's influence meets the galaxy outside. The old idea of a soft edge gave way to something more aggressive and more structured. And that is where the mystery deepens. Because once Voyager moved beyond that boundary, its plasma wave instruments began detecting a persistent music hum, a structured background resonance in interstellar plasma. The data suggested that the region outside the heliosphere is not quiet at all. It is dense, electrically active, and surprisingly ordered. In other words, the emptiness between music, the stars, may not be empty in any intuitive sense. It may be a medium with texture, pressure, and flow that our older mental picture of music, space, never really captured. This is where the story starts feeling almost uncomfortable, because Voyager's anomalies do not just raise questions about one spacecraft. They raise questions about the shape and behavior of the larger environment our solar system, music, is moving through. If gravity, plasma density, cosmic ray flow, and large-scale background structure are not as uniform as older assumptions music suggested, then Voyager is not simply traveling outward. It may be moving through gradients and currents we do not yet understand music properly. That possibility becomes even more intriguing when you place Voyager's experience alongside strange music, large-scale patterns cosmologists have debated for years. Hints that the universe may not look perfectly smooth in all directions at the largest scales we can observe. Whether those music patterns turn out to be deep physics, local distortion, or something else entirely, Voyager offers something rare. Not a distant map, but a direct physical probe moving through the environment itself. And maybe that is why the spacecraft's data feels so unsettling. Voyager 1 is not just measuring faraway objects anymore. It is measuring the medium that surrounds us, the invisible structure between our solar system and the galaxy beyond. The old picture said, music space was mostly empty, and our laws were mostly settled. Voyager keeps pushing into regions where that confidence starts music to look premature. One of the reasons Voyager 1's data feels so disturbing is that the anomalies are tiny enough to sound harmless, but persistent music, enough to refuse dismissal.